Anyone that will think that they will be triggered by the topic of non-consensual, forceful birds and bees that is associated with an R word or a SA term uh, or an M word, please go ahead and leave, okay? Because this is what we'll be talking about on this video. Greetings and salutations. This is your girl, Outspoken Diva, and let's have a talk about it, shall we? Before we talk about it, more than likely, y'all need some context. Y'all need better context that I can give you. Um, it will be about those of you who might know a pastor, Dr. R.A. Vernon of the Word Church of a Ohio church. I can't remember what city, and I don't want to flub that. Said something pretty bad, um, and we need to discuss it. It deals with the subject of the R word that means non-consensual, forceful birds and bees. You know that act. Um, so I'm going to leave them. No, I have left. I'm not going to leave. I have left a link to a person, Chef Don Don. Shout out to him, who presents the facts in a manner that I prefer. Uh, he puts in, like a lot of times we are sent clips. People always want to post clips of things, but especially of sermons. And sometimes once you go back and watch things, in more fuller context, what they say makes sense. So not just the clip. When you just take a clip or something, a sound bite or something, yeah, it sounds bad. But Chef Don does provide more context before that clip and then after that clip. I will say that he presents the facts in a way that I like. Do I totally agree with his opinion? No. So that's why I'm doing this, of course. Well, one of the reasons, because y'all want, y'all sent me the clip, but of course I did my research. So yeah, but so go to Chef Don Don's the link that I'm providing, and then come back. I'm just tell you now to go pause this thing, and then yeah, come back and I'll be talking about it. Okay. Again, shout out to Chef Don Don for presenting the situation, the facts of the situation. Because, like I said, I was sent, no, was somebody sent me clips, and I was like, "Have y'all watched the uh no, where's the rest of it?" Because what he said was pretty bad. So I was like, okay, let's find out. And which was a good thing that Chef Don Don did what he did, because of course the church took what Pastor Dr. Vernon said out of the sermon, which I am happy it did, because it was actually a good sermon. The sermon was called "Breaking the Cycle." It was pretty much what I stop passing the blame. Take your share of the blame. Stop blaming other folks for your screw ups in the world. If you want to break the cycle and get more blessings and stuff, you know, take your part in fixing your life. Okay, you can't always blame your mama, your daddy, and all this kind of stuff. But then he flubbed that whole sermon with what he said about if you have been R word, you know, you wasn't R word. You just made that you should have chose better. What he was saying. I was like, and again and then all of a sudden he also has also apologized. All right. I'm happy he apologized. I'm not gonna argue on the validity and the sincerity and the insincerity of the you know okay. Yes, there are arguments on whether he truly believes and what he actually said. Some of y'all do. I mean, you can see in the comments. I went to the church's page, Instagram page, and you can see in the comments, some people that was saying, you didn't say anything right, and they was, I'm like, no, what he said was wrong. He had to take some accountability on what he said because at no point, no victim of the R word, the SA word, or the M word of that is surrounded around non-consensual, forceful birds and bees should be taking blame for any of that. I don't care. No is no, wrong is wrong. Okay, okay. The only person to blame is the perpetrator. Okay, let's tell the truth. But I mean, crazy enough, when I got home after I was on my commute home, I was doing the research, and I came home and my mom was in her bedroom had Gunsmoke on. Now, Gunsmoke is a TV show. Those of you who don't know, is a TV show. It's a western. Taking, it's like takes place in the 18 during the western times. What's that? The 1800s. The gold rush and all that kind of stuff. And but it was made in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, somewhere around that area. So people still had that this mindset. The scene was, I mean, it was just crazy. I was like, wow, well, I was just talking about this. I mean, I was just researching this and I was telling my mom about what was going on. Um, yeah, why y'all let me be on here with no earring on? I'm looking out ugly. Anyways, I can say I'm ugly. You can't. Um, anyways, it was a case of this guy and this lady were necking. I hope I can say that word on this platform. And she was like, "Okay, you've gone too far." He was getting a little, aggressive. And she was like, "No, no." Well, this guy who's like, I guess he's like a brute, you know, big, large guy, don't really understand his strength. And he was like, heard her, and he's like, "Hey, you get off her. You can't tell me what to do." And he went to, she, no, no, and then something happens, and I guess he pushed the guy off of her, and no, away from her, and the guy is unalived. And then the lady, everybody's running to find out, Miss Kitty and Marshall Dillon and all of them. They're running to find out, and the guy is unalive, and she's hitting him. You killed him, and stuff. And I'm like, but ma'am, he was helping you, but you again, that was written in the 50s, 60s, 70s, in those times when people still, believed in that kind of stuff, so I'm like, wow, that was still a mindset. The crazy part is some of you all still believe in this kind of stuff, to blame the victims, I think the man, no, the man probably shouldn't have been unalived, but I mean, if you push somebody hard enough, they hit the head, things happen, but, I don't think that woman should have uh, blamed that man, been so upset with that man. So yeah, some of y'all in those there were people. I'm not gonna say some of y'all. I mean, as in society, there were people in those comments that were like, "No, you didn't say anything wrong." No, he did say something wrong. He needed to take accountability because at no point when we talk about you need to stop blaming others for your choices. Uh, being R word is not a choice. Who's making that choice? Okay, and I'm sorry, he needs to be accountable of what he said, and yes, he definitely should have apologized. Okay, also there is the discussion that we need, that should be had about him saying ladies, like there are not men who are our word also in this world. you know you know but as I said, y'all see the title of this that says, stick to your notes. Sometimes if we take a beat and breathe while we're talking, I say a lot of stuff that I flub a lot of times, and I've had to come back and say some things, better, uh, or sometimes y'all be surprised how many videos I've redone because I've said when I go back to it, I'm like, that sounds kind of tricky to my own ear, so Sometimes if you take a beat, and I know he's, in front of a crowd and stuff, but sometimes breathe through what you're talking about, don't get so hyped up. But then, we also need to talk to those people, as Chef Don was talking about, those who were sitting there talking about amen. Were you listening? Now, those were the people that I really were like, did you hear him? Because I heard him, Did you hear him? Because I heard him. That sound okay for you to say amen, or you just always amening? Be careful with your amens. Listen to what you amen into. Because, yeah, what Dr. R.A. Vernon said, that part right there was not ever should have had an amen to it. And shout out to that media team for taking that clip out, because yeah, it was what I was listening to was a perfectly good sermon, except for that part. That's why I don't always just counsel people, especially when I hear sermons. A lot of times y'all send me clips or tag me and stuff, and I'm like, can you find the rest of it? Because again, I know my pastor has been a victim of. I won't say a victim. Has had their words clipped, and if when you hear it in the whole grand up, you go a few paces before and a few paces after, it makes better sense. So, it happens. And then there are messed up, some people do say some stuff that's messed up and should not be said, you know. But this was not one of those times. That's why I'm not down for, he needs to be counseled. No, we're not protesting that church, you know. But again, those of us who speak to people and talk to people, have audiences, congregations, and all that, man, stick to the notes sometimes. Stop getting so excited about what we're saying, because yeah, sometimes what we're saying, people say it's very harm. It can be harmful. Okay, and we're not supposed to be harming. We're supposed to help, right? We're supposed to be helping, not hurting. Okay, right? Okay, so yeah. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. Or shout out to Tony Baker, my 2 pennies on the situation, since y'all, tagged me in it, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can talk about this. So yeah, that's what we talked about, right? Okay. So do you agree with me or disagree with me? Um, we can have a discussion, but not an argument. You can leave that down below in the comment section of this video, or on the social media site that you see this on, except Facebook. Facebook, you leave them down below on YouTube. Or, you can always email me at the email address that's in the description box, okay? Y'all, we got to do right by each other. We got to do better. This is the way to do it, okay? So, yeah. And other than that, talking to you. See, look at me messing stuff up. Talking to you in adult terms.